Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Tampa Bay Downs here on Saturday. It is February the 9th, 2019. Going to look at the stakes races on the program from Tampa, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. So we're going to look at the stakes races here. Races 8, 9, 10, 11. Some great action here. So let's get on to it. The 8th race from Tampa. It is the Tampa Bay Stakes. It's going for a purse of $175,000. Grade 3 race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the Tampa turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile 16th. I show the diagram, it just gives me that little extra second to look down a minute. Just bear with me. Sorry, I'm stupid, I can't do two things at the same time. Top selection here, I'm going to take the number 2 horse, Inspector Lindley. I'm going to go 2-4-3-7 in the superfecta. 2-4-3-7 super. Top selection of 2 horse, Inspector Lindley. 6-year-old horse by Lemon Drop Kid. Shug McGahee trains. Jose Ortiz picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of December at Gulfstream. Mile and the 8th on the turf in the Grade 2 Fort Lauderdale. The horse finished 4th by 4.5 lengths there. He didn't break all that well. Had a little bit of a turn of foot at the end, but, you know, he just had a little bit of a trouble trip. I think hopefully with a clearer trip and a smaller field here today, I think the horse should run that little bit of a better race. Before then, the Knickerbocker at Belmont, Mile 8th Inner Turf Course, October the 8th. The horse finished 3rd by 2 lengths. He did close up well in a very tough Knickerbocker, but, you know, the closers usually don't do well on the turf course, but he did have the, you know, he got around the race course well. It wasn't the worst race, but wasn't the best race either. And then the Bernard Baruch at Saratoga, mile 16, September the 3rd. The horse finished 4th by 2 lengths, and he just never got the good race there. But he did win the lure very nicely, being projected at Saratoga on August 11th, his first race back in a few months. You know, I backed this horse quite a few times in his long career. He's making his 22nd start today, and he's won 4 times. And one of those 4 races, can't remember. I did hit a nice pick 4 with him, or he was in a pick 4, which I hit with him. It could have been in this race a few years ago, because he did win the Tampa Bay Stakes in 2017 here, going mile 16th, which he won by a half length with a great turn of foot. He won quite convincingly. And then after that, he ran in the Makers 46 mile, where he finished 8th by 4 lengths. The winner that day was American Patriot, who I singled in a pick 4 and won with him also, beating Heart to Heart, who's actually running back in this one today. But you know, I think he's going to run well here today. He's a good poster. I think it's going to fit up for him, so watch out. So to recap my selections for the 8th from Tampa, it's the Grade 3 Tampa Bay Stakes. Going to go with the 2 horse, Inspector Lindley. Going to go 2-4-3-7 in the superfecta. Race number 9 from Tampa, it's the Suncoast Stakes. It's going for a purse of $150,000. Races for fillies 3-year-olds here. A field of 9 horses going the distance of ground of 1 mile and 40 yards on the main track. Mile 40, main track. Top selection, I'm going to go with the number 7 horse here, the 7 horse Point of Honor. I'm going to go 7-4-2-3 in the superfecta, 7-4-2-3 super. Top selection, 7 horse Point of Honor. 3-0 by Curlin. George Weaver trains. Javier Castellano picks up the mount for this one. This horse has only started once. That came on the 16th of December at Gulfstream, mile 16th off the turf on a fast main track in the main special at 40,000. The horse won by 6 lengths there. Had a good stock position early on, got the lead, and just took off clear at the end. It was a very good run there. You know, one of the best runs of December at Gulfstream. Just one for fun. Since then, he's been training at Palm Beach. Recent workout, 5 furlongs of 103 and 4. The 4th best workout, 4, and a 5 furlong workout, 103 and 2 at Palm Beach. So he's been training well. The pedigree says this horse should, you know, get the mile 16th very easily. And, you know, just looking over the other horses in the race, you know, a lot of the other horses have multiple starts. Not even, if you combine all those starts, they don't come close to this horse's good race. And, you know, I just think he'll really run well. A slight thing that scares me a little bit, his buyer is a little bit low, but, you know, for that victory. But I still think this horse should run well here today, because it was still quite a, you know, easy victory. I like him a lot, so I'll take him as top selection. So to recap my selections for the 9th from Tampa, it's the Suncoast. Going to go with the 7 horse Point of Honor. Going to go 7-4-2-3 in the superfecta to race number 10. Race number 10 from Tampa. It's the Grade 3 Endeavor Stakes. It's going for a purse of $175,000. Race for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds, and upwards. Field of 11 horses going to post a distance of ground of 1,700 meters or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the Tampa Turf Course. 1,700 meters, mile 16th. Everybody hates the meters. Top selection. I like the number 8 horse here, Rimska. I'm going to go 8-6-2-4 in the superfecta. 8-6-2-4 super. Top selection, 8 horse, Rimska. 5-hour mare by Le Harvey. Chad Brown trains. Jose Ortiz picks up the mount. This horse is cross-entered with a race at Gulfstream today, but I have a feeling we'll run this horse here because I think this is the better race for her, but she hasn't been seen since the 2nd of December. That came at Del Mar, 1 mile in the Grade 1 Matriarch. She finished 6th by 3 lengths. She was screwed by the post draw, 13 of 13 that day. Was wide throughout the race, had a trouble trip, a little bit of turn of foot at the end, but still just had a trouble trip. It was mainly the trip, not her fault. I think with a better post draw here today, coming back east, I think this horse run a little bit better. Before then, the Great Athenia at Belmont, mile 16th at her turf course, October the 21st. The horse won by 2.5 lengths there, and she was very wide, but she closed up well on that inner turf course. It does not play towards closers, and she won very nicely. A very good, easy race there, to the point of she got pulled up at the end. It was a very good run there, beating New Money Honey, who was a decent horse also. But before that, this horse ran at the Spa on the 31st of August, about a mile on the inner turf course, Option Lady Claimer, and the horse finished second by nose, had the lead, and looked like she was going to win for fun, but then she just kind of hit the wall right before the wire and she got caught. Just couldn't keep up. She was a little lazy there, but it was her first off the break. And then before then, the Winter Memories of 2017 at Aqueduct. The horse won by 1/4 lengths, very easy victory. Won the Commonwealth Oaks at Laurel in 2017 very easily, and won the Sweet Chanter at Laurel in 2017 very easily. I like her a lot here today. I think she'll run well, so I'll take her as a top selection. So to recap my selections for the 10th from Tampa, it's the Grade 3 Endeavor Stakes. Gonna go with the number 8 horse here, Rimska. Gonna go 8-6-2-4 in the superfecta. Let's get to the featured. Race 11 from Tampa, it's the Sam F. Davis Stakes. It's a Grade 3 race going for a purse of $250,000. Races for 3-year-olds here, field of 10 horses going in the distance of ground of 1,700 meters with a distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the Tampa main track. 1,700 meters, mile 16th here in the Sam F. Davis, the local prep race for the Tampa Derby. Top selection here, I'm going to take the number 8 horse, So Alive. Gonna go 8-7-3-1 in the superfecta. 8-7-3-1 super. Top selection, 8 horse, So Alive. This 3-year-old colt by Super Saver, who actually won the Tampa Derby in 2007. Top Pledger trains. Javier Castellano picks up the mounts. The horse is most recent outing came 6th of January here at Tampa, mile 40 in a optional 75 claimer. The horse won by 1.5 lengths there. He stalked early on after not the best beginnings, but a little bit wide the top of the lane. But other than that, he had a great turn of foot, and he won very nicely first start, Blinkers. It was an improvement off the race before, it came on the 24th of November at Churchill in the slop, 1 mile and optional 75 claimer. The horse finished 6th by 7.5 lengths there, and he was just very wide and just never ran. His wet track probably had something to do with it, maybe there. And then before that, Keeneland on the mud, but still going. October the 27th in a 6 furlong main special weight. The horse won by a neck there. He closed up well. He had a really, Tyler Gavrillon rode a great race to get the horse to victory. A lot of people will say, oh, the horses do all the work. The jockey's just there to go for the ride. That race, Gavrillon did the most work I've seen in quite a while. He weaved that side of the traffic inside. He rode a great race. It was his doing for the horse to get the victory. He won very nicely at the end. Even though this 6 furlong trip was probably not to his liking, I think that the 2 turns for the first time, or excuse me, second time, 2 turns routing. The horse should just run that little bit of the better race. A little bit wide here, but I think he can overcome it. He's been training well over at Palm Beach. His most recent workout, 4 furlongs, 48-2. His best workout, 37. Usually don't see workouts that fast at Palm Beach, so if it's going that fast, I think he's rearing to go. Another workout a week earlier at Palm Beach, 5 furlongs on good main track, 101 and 2/5 second, the 6th best workout of 8. His most recent workout's good. His race over the course is good, and I think he's going to be set up for a good race, so I'll take him here as a top selection. So to recap my selections for the 11th from Tampa, it's the grade 3 Sam F. Davis, going to go with the 8 horse So Alive, going to go 8-7-3-1 in the superfecta. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5.